Welcome back to the Rock and Roll channel. I got my friend Brian Smith on to talk about a lot of the same stuff we've been talking about for a few weeks now, but we'll try to give different takes and anything new that's popped up in our head. Brian's really brave and not feeling the best being here today, and I greatly appreciate
Oof.
it. Yeah,
It's been rough, brother. It's been rough.
it's a problem, but I appreciate you coming on. Brian, thanks for coming on as always. From Locked On Seminoles, Brian Smith did a great post game show the other night. As always, I really, I really enjoy your fans. Really bring it with like intelligent questions.
I've had some really good ones here
Yeah,
lately on Locked On Seminole. Some
yeah,
of these people, like, they want to know how the inner workings happen, and makes you stop and think. And some of them I have to kind of go back and look at and think about if I'm going to put them in a show. It's like, how does it work behind closed doors with coaches and recruiting and
right.
stuff? That's why I find college football so interesting. While the NFL is great, everything is cookie cutter. Like,
Mhm.
where you're drafted is what money you're getting. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Drafted a free agent. That's it.
yeah, it's automated.
The college is much more like diabolical in that sense. But
Sure.
I mean, my guess is we have the same take. What was your opinion of the game the other night?
Weird. Again, I mean, Florida State completely outclassed Virginia Tech, but at the same time, you know what? Virginia Tech is a team that they can run the ball a little bit. Those two running backs are good players. They're good players. They got a couple of decent offensive linemen. They don't have the receivers and their DBs. They've had guys leave. They got freshmen back there and stuff. Florida State did what they needed for the most part, but Tommy missed a couple of throws, or that game's 50 points.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be mean because Tommy's
No.
made some amazing deep throws this year.
Yeah.
He led the nation in yards per attempt for a while, like multiple weeks. So, but you can tell he's not healthy. He's gotten a little better with the legs, but you can tell like his motion's not as consistent. His upper body's not healthy. He's not.
And you're 5'8", 5'9", whatever, and you're sidearming some balls like you're Patrick Mahomes. Like,
He missed a couple over the middle that were 20, 30-yard plays minimum. One guy misses, he scores. I mean, it just those
yeah,
can happen, and that's just the ones that I could see on the TV copy. I didn't even have the vertical film from the end zone. I don't even want to see it. So probably missed some guys that he should have thrown to. You can't see stuff from the TV copy as far as coverage, really. But the thing that I liked best about the game, Jeremy, and I asked this all last week on my channel, will Florida State show up emotionally ready to play? And they did, but it was a carbon copy of Clemson, but against a far less talented team.
yeah,
Run gap fits, tackle, like the very first play. For the love of mankind, they run a basic outside zone. Every team in the world that's college or pro runs that play. There's nobody there. There's no fit. Where's the safety or outside? However they schemed it up. Where is that? On the first play? I mean,
the quarterback was getting yards on the ground too. Drones.
I'll just go ahead and say it. Drones should have said, "Screw it, I'm just going to be an H-back."
Yeah,
He'd have
was
made
getting
the
5,
NFL.
6
He could do it out.
times.
He is not a fun guy to get in front of. I am quite sure.
Yes.
With that being stated, it's probably a little late now. But Florida State didn't tackle for crap. So again, it's more the mental, and that tells me even more. I know everybody that's seen me knows that I want Norvell gone. The guys want to play hard, but if you're not dialed in practice, on the chalkboard, in the meetings, watching extra film, this is what happens. Why would they be that way? They don't respect the staff wholeheartedly across the board, every player. Now, most of them probably do. But in football, it is, Jeremy, the ultimate team game. One guy missed that run gap fit on the first play. One guy, 40 yards. First play, you know what I mean? And that's just a microcosm.
I'm sure you saw on film all week.
Yeah. And look at it this way. I was texting with Alex Dono today, who runs Locked On Canes. Great guy. And they just kicked the bejesus out of NC State. They didn't show up, which surprised me. But here's a stat for you about Florida State. How many road wins did the Noles have since the beginning of the 2023 season?
Oh, since the beginning. Well, they haven't won one this year. They didn't win one last year.
0.
No, they beginning of 23.
No, that was the Cal game at home.
That's 24.
Oh, 24. I'm sorry, 24, 25.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
24.
My
apologies. 0.
Yeah, 24 and 25.
Yeah, we haven't won on the road since Tate Rodemaker in the swamp.
I was listening to War Chant Rap the other day, and again, my apologies, I got the year wrong, but too much cough medicine. I'm loopy. I make no mistake.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't understand it. They were standing in the stadium by the end zone, but when they leave the stadium, they're just not the same team. And I thought to myself, there's no truer statement of the entire football season. Why? Yeah. Like, they can't execute, especially on offense. They fall apart on the road. Yeah. I don't know what that is.
That's true. Game week prep is a whole lot different for a road game than it is than a home game.
You got so many
crowd noise, the travel, the itinerary. There's a lot involved, especially taking a football team on the road. I don't think Norvell adapted to that at this level. And everyone talk about 2023, we skated by a couple games by the skin of our teeth.
And even after they lost Travis, they did too. Like, some of the things were starting to unravel then. And I get the whole quarterback thing. Like, there's nothing, not
the Boston College
like,
game.
Yeah, there was just a couple. You could tell they had guys that weren't dialed in. And part of that, you got to look, players put the helmet on. So that's partially them. But
absolutely, Jake.
For whatever reason, Norvell's teams go through enormous peaks and valleys. Even that 22 team, they had a 3-game losing streak in the middle of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Then they finished really strong. Like, I can't explain that.
They finish strong when there's no expectations. Same with 21. Well, not last year. But I've noticed that with my teams. Anytime there's some expectations past game one, it's when they fail. I understand 2023 happened. I just think we caught lightning in a bottle for 1 year. I mean, my answer to that always is like, well, heck, Gene Chizik won a national title at Auburn. What has he done since?
Gene Chizik was one of the worst coaches ever as a head coach.
Absolutely, but he caught lightning in a bottle.
Newton.
Cam Newton. He caught lightning in a bottle, and he had Gus running the offense.
My mom is 78 years old and doesn't know anything about football. She could just tell Cam to go out there too.
That's how it was. So that's why I always qualify that with Mike. And to this day, we still haven't seen him win consistently with anyone not named Jordan Travis. In 6 years at Florida State, that's embarrassing.
It's so wild, too, because the offense is really not all that different now with Gus Malzahn. Nope. And there are intricacies, don't get me wrong, but he learned his offense from Gus because that was his guy when he came out.
His mentor.
He's the tree. Gus is the tree, and he's the first apple off that tree. I mean, it's just like, come on now.
And the Todd Graham offense he learned from was from the Gus.
He's a good offensive coach, yeah.
Yeah, Todd may not have been a great head coach, but he produced good head coaches in those ball.
Yeah. Well, all I know is Florida State week to week. You don't know what you get.
I hate. I don't want to say hate. That's a strong word. But Jake talks about me managed. If we had a real defensive coordinator, because I don't think we ever did with Fuller, and I blamed Mike the day we hired Fuller. I didn't know you then. I thought it was a rushed hire. I was comfortable with him for 1 year at Memphis. Let's just keep the because Mike's not a risk taker in that regard. He'd rather have someone play it safe with continuity than saying, I'm not sure about this guy, but I hear he's a stud.
See, that's the opposite of elite coaches.
Yeah, that's true.
He got rid of guys when they would finish in the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take what Nick Saban says a lot higher.
I did. Listen, he told Lane Kiffin before national title game when we have Sark. Well, it was Sark, but still, I wasn't happy with what you did. There was other stuff too. It wasn't just the game. He didn't like his focus. But the Adam Fuller, that's why 2023 defense, for as good as they were, could you imagine if they had a real DC?
Well, you had multiple guys that were dialed in on the defensive line. They really hit on the portal. You got to give them credit for that. And then, of course, the wide receiver position. Johnny was in and out of the lineup when he was in. Keon on the other side, Johnny was always single covered. I mean, it's not fair. And they had a stable of backs too.
Mm-hmm. But it usually took a Trey Benson run middle to late of the third to kind of blow a game up.
He was good. He was really, really good.
He bailed out Norvell a lot.
I remember that touchdown. He walked into the end zone backwards against Florida. That was pretty funny.
That was funny. And Vatek, I think.
Yeah.
An 80-yarder, I think. I understand. Hey, you recruited him. He helps bail you out. That's good. But you knew they were not playing to their full capabilities at all times. That was one of the things that hurt us in the snub is we didn't really impress all the time.
Combination, man. When one of the first things that people look at, it's first thing Vegas looks at, and they're the only one thing they care about is the result. Point differential.
Absolutely. Some such could not have segued that any better. So, man, that was. Thank you. I'm going to steal that one, Brian. But let's talk about. Okay, I don't even know if he's a top candidate or not. I'm just going to talk about what transpired Saturday a little bit before the game. What I thought of it. I want to hear what you thought of it. Pete Thamel drops one of his famous tweets that I'm sure was engineered by Jimmy Sexton about James Franklin. I took that as, I want to get your opinion. I took that as just posturing that the job he really wants isn't open yet. And it was one of those, if you want my client, this is where he could be going type thing. How did you view it?
Probably the same way that I do now.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on the numbers. Here's the problem. I've said this a couple of times here recently on Locked On Seminoles. One of my astute YouTube listeners posted something. What coach would we get, in your opinion, based on all the circumstances with all these teams going after a coach? And I'm like, that's a fair question. Obviously, Franklin's available, but does Florida State have the money to give a guy that's obviously very well established? He was there 12 years at Penn State. That's a long time. Does the Florida State University okay a contract at 7, 8, 9 years, something like that? Franklin's at a point, he's not going to take no 4 or 5 year contract. So these are some of the things you got to look at from a financial standpoint. If they sign him a 10-year deal, I will be completely shocked. But the elite guys basically tell you to pound sand because they hold all the leverage.
Of course.
Could you imagine the inbox opening for Mr. Alford on the daily? He probably doesn't do it. I imagine he literally had somebody else do it. And I mean that wholeheartedly. And I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Because the idiot brigade is always the first one that sends the emails and phone calls. So
that's true.
I would imagine that's not a fun job right now. And I don't know the guy, but I would not want to be him. I don't envy him.
Yeah.
He's getting paid a lot, but like it can't be worth it right now. That's going to be miserable. Miserable.
I qualify, like I'm 80% like not thrilled with Alfred these days, but I qualify in that 20 saying I don't know if he wanted to make a move and the people above him are saying no, we're not spending the money. Like Jeff today came out and said he thinks that some of the people who have been given a lot of money to his projects, to this or that, are saying, I'm tired of it. So I think there's a lot of factors behind the scenes, especially when you're dealing with this kind of money.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody could be in agreement that Mike needs to go, but unless everybody, especially again, if you're going after, let's just say Franklin, we're just discussing him as a topic, unless all the boosters are in on it, they all have to donate.
Yeah.
To get that contract, I would assume. I mean, there's different ways to do it, but to do it the best way, they all got to be in. You don't want to mortgage out on contracts.
No.
So what are the odds, just mathematically, since I'm doing Florida State, what are the odds that everybody would be okay with James Franklin? It's pretty low.
I don't think it's high.
To be honest, you tell me if I'm wrong here. I've been told over and over, FSU does not have a mega booster that's really involved. Like they got people that have that kind of money, but they're just not diehard football people.
It's not like the whales that get at Auburn.
Yeah, like
who really can call shots.
Like Oregon and Miami, those guys, it's different. Yeah. So you're in a bit of a bind. You only got to convince one if it's somebody like that, if they can stroke a $50 million investment. I highly doubt that's the case. So you're talking about 7, 8, 9 people. Think about this. It's trying to put a winning streak together. It's easier to win one game than it is 7, 8, 9. You know what I mean? Right. It's that simple. It's just math. So I don't feel good for Mr. Alford, but I'm also the guy, I can be a hypocrite right now, says you got to find a way to fire Mike. And what I'm basically saying, you got to roll the dice, even if you can't get, let's just say Franklin, for whatever the reason, I don't care what it is, you can't get him. You got to go take a G6 guy, or you take Buster Faulkner, whoever you want. You got to get rid of Mike. He's done enough damage. It's time to find another head coach at Florida State University.
I know there were other people involved in the extension for Mike, but you got us in a mess. It's your job to get us out of a mess. It's not a case of, well, we don't have the money. People don't want to hear that.
No.
If I get in a mess, it's my job to get us out of it. I can't say that's too bad. So that's where I stand on it. We find a way. I don't think a Josh Pate goes on his show and basically says FSU has the money if there's no validity to it. I think he's as dialed in as anyone. JD Piquel, I don't know if he's as dialed in as Pate, but he's somebody. He said the same thing. They're not doing these episodes to say they're fired without calling people to say, is it even a possibility? Or like, could they do it if they wanted to?
Yeah, they don't want to lose their contacts too. They got to be very careful about that stuff.
Correct.
Which I totally get. But
Mhm.
let's see, we're just around the corner, for lack of a better phrase. And we're doing this. It's the 17th of November. We're right around the corner from the season being over. It's done on the 29th. If Florida State doesn't have Mike Norvell gone by the end of Monday, which is 2 days after the Florida game, it's going to be a long year.
I know. I'm prepared for that.
I mean, I'm not, because I do a day.
I am. I think that's the most likely scenario now. And what upsets me now is, in the media's got on this train, is we'll win the next 2 games and he's staying. Miss me with that. This has been an awful year. I don't want to hear, well, this is a better team and they look better and they try harder. No. People said, well, 7-5 going into the year was good enough to keep them. Look at how bad we've been.
It's
mean,
so weird. It's so weird. They have moments where they're actually really good too, then they just revert back in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I had no emotion during the game the other night, and I love my Knowles. I wouldn't be here if I didn't. I just had no emotion.
For you to say that is pretty grotesque.
Yeah, and I'm not saying, there's bigger fans than me. I'm not saying I'm the be all, and I'm not. I won't root against us. I can't do that. How real? Oh, sorry, Jake. This guy Jake's coming the other day. Really enjoys listening to us. How real the Franklin rumors? I don't think they're real or fake at this moment. I've heard that he's not the top choice for us right now, but I don't even know who the other people are. So it's all one thing about this administration, whether you like them or not, they are so good at keeping things close to the vest. Things do not get leaked. We are as good as anybody there. I remember 2019 hearing that they were going to make that concerted effort to change that narrative, and they have. Man, I think there's only 5 or 6 people that truly know what's going on. Cameron even today said, and I refer to him because I think he's as dialed in locally as anybody. He said, man, some of the people I know that usually are good sources don't even know now.
They don't want their laundry being aired, which I get.
Yeah, the old school people don't.
Recruiting, transfer portal, all that. It's just more on their plate. So I would do the same thing. And again, Mr. Alford doesn't need any more inboxes from fans asking about James Franklin or anybody else, because it's going to come. So
it's going to come.
Imagine.
I think he's more interested in us than we are in him right now.
I'll say this about Franklin. If he came to Florida State, I've studied him very, very closely. He would kill it in recruiting. The guy likes it. He would kill it. He's very organized. He gets after it. He goes after the underclassmen. He does all the things Mike is not good at. They're polar opposites. He's more linear in terms of, like, he's a little stiffer guy. You got to have certain standards. Like, he's really picky about who he brings into his program.
Really?
Your roster would be more consistent with James. Obviously, much like Mike, not exactly the greatest game day guy, but I would still take Mike over him in some ways on game day because I think he's a better play caller. I think James is a better CEO, but Mike also needs a very specific kind of quarterback. He's, the only guy that he won with that wasn't a running quarterback was that I forget his first name, White, the quarterback at Memphis. It's not P4.
Right away.
Yeah, he threw for 4,000 yards.
Yeah,
but that's it's Memphis, so it's they're not playing the ACC or Big Ten or something.
Yeah. But the thing with Franklin coming to us is, and not to play devil's advocate, but you're coming into a state where he's got to go head to head with coaches that he didn't have that type of challenge at Penn State. Mario, say what you want about him as a game day coach. He's a beast of a recruiter. If they bring VT is saying Franklin is signed, interesting. I've heard a lot of things. We're breaking this there. And you bring in Lane in Florida. He's an excellent recruiter. It's a lot tougher to recruit what he would be entering at Penn. I think he's built for it. But he doesn't have to compete with Pittsburgh for recruiting at Penn State like he
No,
would.
that's a slaughter. Penn
Right,
State
that's
probably
smart.
hasn't lost a kid to Pitt.
Correct. So
That wasn't a legacy in 10 years.
if you want to stay in the area there, you're going to Penn State. Just like LSU. Maybe not as much, but to a degree. Florida, it's a war in recruiting. And Mike never wanted to get into the war.
Yep.
Sharon, nobody else. Yeah, could be. I don't know. I don't think some places he's a fit at in these. I don't see him as a fit at Arkansas. I don't see him as a fit. I think he would love Auburn if they were interested.
I've heard he's interested. I don't know if they are.
Correct. So Jimmy's doing his thing. That's how what I took it as. It was just negotiating 101. Because listen, as tight end, I mean, Pete Thamel's the guy when he delivers a tweet. That's when you know it's real. But his number one in his Rolodex is Jimmy Sexton. Jimmy will call him and say, "Yeah, I need you to do this for me. Write this tweet that says this." And they help each other out. Let's see. Have it wrapped up before Miami for recruiting. Oh, who knows? I think VTech wants an answer. Once they said in the quote, man, they're entering serious negotiation with Franklin, but it's a full coaching search. That's when I said, that's it. He's not the guy there right now. He wants the Florida State job more. He was interested when Jimbo left. I don't know if he was interested after we fired Taggart. You know what? Jake made this point, and we said this. He's a Rick type of hire, and I'm fine with that. Stabilize the program, 8-9 wins a year, 10 on a really good year. And, yeah, stabilize the program. We need more of that right now than we always would say in a hire, man. We need a guy who's going to compete for national titles. I'm not saying that right now. We have fallen so low. Just get us back to respectability, and respectability can get you in the playoffs.
I agree.
Yeah. Anything else? I'm not going to keep Brian that long because he is battling the weather issues, under the weather issues, man. So I appreciate him coming on as always. Brian, I enjoyed your mailbag the other night. Like I said, your fans bring it.
Oh, yeah. I have a feeling that the Locked On Seminoles channel will have a rather interesting one on Sunday night because either it's going to be a surprising win or another debilitating loss. It's like Florida State never does anything close. It's just true. It's A or B.
Yeah.
Like the end of the first quarter, you already know what's going to happen. It's crazy.
Yeah. So. It's so true.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But Florida State, they've got to do what they got to do to get through this season the best they can, and we'll just see what they do. That's it.
Exactly. I'm prepared for him coming back next year now. It's just something the other night just had me sick about it. And I don't want to have to qualify anymore that I like Mike. He's a nice guy. I've only met him twice, maybe 3 times. It was at booster events. You kind of have to be nice there. Even Jimbo was somewhat pleasant at those events. No, I take that back. You could tell a couple times when he didn't want to be there. Yeah. I take that back. Mike never has done that. But that's what I'm going to be. That's what I'm telling people to think about when they're like, oh, the money, or this or that. I'm thinking big picture. I'm thinking, man, how do you wheel him out at these booster events? You're going to have to do what you did last year. How are you going to keep enthusiasm, especially when signing day is going to be a lousy day?
Couldn't tell.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you either. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm going to be watching more. It's going to be a long off season, and next year is a tough schedule. I know you lost Notre Dame, which is a help to us.
They're going to say we're extending our ACC schedule. If Florida State was strong right now, would they have dropped Notre Dame? No. They know they're going to lose.
Us, apparently.
Well, they need more games next year.
Yeah, I heard Notre Dame dropped us. They said Florida State didn't even know they were caught off guard.
Well, Notre Dame needs another home game. That's possible, but maybe that's what it is.
We're going to get
everybody wants more home games because of revenue. I get that.
Yeah, we're going to get New Mexico. That's the rumor.
Oh dear God!
I didn't say it was a good one. I didn't. But that hurts the local economy, that's for sure, because Notre Dame brings in money when they come.
Well, that brand's a little different. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So that hurts. But Brian, I thank you for your time. Locked On Seminoles. Man, Brian, you've been killing it, man. And just thanks for speaking the truth every time. I think that's why I wish I wanted you to be on the show. And I thank you for all you've done for me in the show, man. I appreciate everything.
Absolutely. Check me out on Locked On Seminoles whenever you get a chance.
Absolutely, man. And if anybody has any questions after this, let me know. If you need me to direct you to his channel, let me know. I chimed in the chat the other night.
That's right, you did.
I always will. I support it, man. So take care, everyone, and go Noles. And let's just I can't root against us, but I can make a case for both sides. All right, everyone, go Noles.